Hello and welcome to It Came From The Pod, where me and my brother discuss everything horror. We bring you the good, the bad, and the gory. I'm your host from the coast, Derrick T. Jackson, and with me as always is my brother Jay Jules Jackson.
Well, hello. How is everyone doing today?
I'm hoping everybody's doing great because we're doing great and we're happy to be recording again. It's been a while.
Oh, it's been a minute.
And since it's been a while, we got a special one for you all listeners. We got Necronomicon.
Yes.
H.P. Lovecraft's Necronomicon. Made in 1993. We got 3 directors on this one. We got Brian Yuzna, we got Christoph Gans, and Shusuke Kaneko.
Okay,
those are our directors.
Yeah.
Those are our directors there. Just get out of the way real quick. Written by Christopher Gans, Brian Yuzna, so obviously 2 of the directors helped write this. And then we got Brent V. Friedman and Kazunori Ito.
Oh man, your Japanese is great, dude.
Yeah,
I love your
I've been
Japanese.
working on it.
Yeah, you should.
I've been
It sounds
using Babbel
amazing.
for my Japanese. It's been paying off. Huh?
Yeah, Babbel for your Japanese.
So this is a really special movie to me, especially because to be honest, I'm not the biggest. Not that I'm not a fan, but I'm not well versed in H.P. Lovecraft. Other than I know Reanimator was based on him, and the Book of the Dead from Evil Dead,
right,
based on his imagination. You know, that came from him. But other than that, and then you talking about him, telling me about Cthulhu and all that stuff, I didn't really have an extensive knowledge on him. So this movie, I'm really happy that we did it because now it opened up my mind to want to go do more H.P. Lovecraft.
And it basically, I love how this movie is what an H.P. Lovecraft film should be. Because H.P. Lovecraft he's an author, right? He writes he's the father of cosmic horror. He writes about tentacled monsters and everything like that. But in all actuality, in his writings and in his works, his framing devices are normally just someone journaling or someone writing a letter in their final moments. And it's mostly about or documents that have been uncovered or anything like that. So, or even secondhand accounts. So readers normally have to assemble the horror in their mind. It's meant to be read alone by yourself, and just your mind does all the heavy lifting for you. But that's what I love about H.P. Lovecraft is that the stories, although they are amazing, sometimes it doesn't translate into film
very well.
Really well. No, in fact, it doesn't translate well at all because in the stories and in these documents and all these things, H.P. Lovecraft says, then this monster is indescribable, unknown, and if I were to explain it to you, you would lose your fucking mind. And you're like, whoa, okay. And then you go see the film of one of your favorite short story H.P. Lovecrafts, and it's like a guy in a rubber suit or bad CGI. And you're like, no, that's not what I want at all.
My imagination's much better than that.
Yeah, like, what is this? And I mean, technically, that can be from almost any book, like any book you read, you have your own
and the special effects people are doing the best they can.
And they do the best they can. Hey, but the thing is, sometimes with all these other stories and other books and other authors, such as like Steven Spielberg doing Jurassic Park, right? Michael Crichton's Jurassic Park. Totally amazing. You're like, for the first time, you get to see dinosaurs, and it was like an eye-opening experience for all of us. And then you go to H.P. Lovecraft, and you're like, what, is that a guy in a rubber suit?
It's funny you say that because Steven Spielberg, I'm sure, had a way bigger budget than these movies.
Exactly.
Than these movies. So,
He probably did, of course. Definitely. However, this movie that we've watched, the Necronomicon, doesn't have the big budget.
No, it's a low-budget horror movie.
Low-budget horror movie, independent, but you have special effect artists like Screaming Mad George and Tom Savini, and you could tell they pour their heart into these practical effects because they look amazing and they translate well because the story, you're into it, you're involved, you're like, what's going on, and then all of a sudden it hits you out of where with some crazy ass bullshit where you're like, what the hell did I just watch right now?
Yeah.
And it worked really well.
This movie checks the fuck out of those boxes as far as is the story
really
cool?
does.
Even I'm going to say there's good acting in there. There's some poor acting in it too at points, but there is some good acting in it. Stories are cool, and it checks the living hell out of the box of special effects. There are some that are bad that they couldn't really help. You know, they had to use a little CGI, which from '93. You know, but for the practical effects they did, it made up for it.
It really
made up for it big time.
And because a lot of times in practical effects, you're looking at something and you're like, it will get a close-up of something and then it'll get a close-up to a different body part. So you don't ever get the whole picture when you're dealing with the practical effects, or it cuts too quick. You know, you're like, oh, but you kind of get... You let your mind do the heavy lifting and the work. And you're like, okay, I get it. This does not let your imagination do any work. It's like, no, we got you. Mm-hmm. We're going to do the full shot, and you're going to see everything from start to finish. And you're like, oh my God, thank you. I got really excited on some of these parts.
So why don't you tell the listeners here about the Necronomicon?
I would love to tell
what that book is.
I would love to tell the listeners about the Necronomicon. So the Necronomicon was invented by H.P. Lovecraft back in the 1920s, and he used it as a framing device to kind of be in his stories to kind of narrate a fuel to move the plot forward. For example, like you need a cosmic horror being in your story, you use the Necronomicon. You know, you need to find the key to something and it also be your downfall, that's in the Necronomicon. And he did such a good job giving it a fake history, even having a fake author like the mad Arab Abdul al-Hazred, and people thought it was a real book and would go into libraries like, I would like to check out the Necronomicon by the mad Arab Abdul al-Hazred, and the librarian's like, that doesn't exist, only in stories.
But we do have some H.P. Lovecraft
We
books.
do have some H.P. Lovecraft, yeah. And so it's so amazing how this book can just translate things in the story to create more stories. I don't know if that makes any sense. Yeah,
it's still affecting film today.
It's still in this generation. I mean, we've seen it in The Cabin in the Woods. We've seen it in Evil Dead. It is in video games. It is in other short stories written by authors like Ramsey Campbell, who's still writing Cthulhu mythos stories. This book was in. It was a shared universe before there were shared universes. So you would like his stories like the Dunwich Horror, the Call of Cthulhu, Dreams in the Witch House. They all use the Necronomicon in their stories for different things. So it was great. It's a wonderful. So like everything kind of connects, but it's still telling a separate story.
It's just like a big bowl of salad with anything anybody could want in it. You go ahead and you just reach in there and grab what you need.
It's you want to talk about immortality, the Necronomicon. Yeah,
how to cheat death,
the Necronomicon, how to resurrect the dead. The Necronomicon. Yeah, exactly. Want to unleash an unholy monster upon the world, the Necronomicon. It's that kind of book, and it's crazy how in the 1920s it was written, and now even today in every media platform from books, movies to video games, it is still being used.
Yeah, you can tell this guy H.P. Lovecraft has a great imagination, and I love to just look into it even more moving forward. So I'm excited about covering this movie.
Oh, me too.
All right, perfect. So let's get into it now.
Let's do it. Let's talk about the movie.
The movie wastes no time. It just gets into title card right off the bat. Necronomicon. As you would imagine in 1993 how it would look. So it opens up in H.P. Lovecraft, played by Jeffrey Combs.
Right? Jeffrey Combs.
Reanimator.
Yeah, he's very well known in the H.P. Lovecraft movie scene. And for him to actually portray H.P. Lovecraft himself, I'm sure was a great honor.
So he's opening up the movie here with which is going to be the wraparound story, because this is an anthology. There's 3 stories plus the wraparound. So it opens up. He's in a cab, and he's narrating for us, and he just basically says in the fall of 1932, he discovered that the Necronomicon was in America at a temple that was guarded by the OM Yatki monks.
Okay.
OM Yatki monks. OM space YATI then monks. And then we looked it up, and
It means nothing. It's just two different Indian words that they put together. And when you watch the special features about this movie, they did mention that the museum was supposed to be a library, but they came across some crypt in East Compton. Because it looked like a museum and it looked like a library.
It does too. It does not look like a building that that you would expect to see in East Compton,
especially as a cemetery. And they're like, "Hey, this more looks like a temple." And they started rewriting everything based on the location. And they were wondering, how are we going to do this? And how are we going to put books? And basically, where the people are buried in the wall, anytime you see a bookcase, there's actually dead people behind there.
Yeah.
And they said it was rot. It had a rotting smell to it. It did not smell good.
Yeah.
Because it was a cemetery. I was like, oh my God.
This thing was shot in a motherfucking crypt.
It's a motherfucking crypt.
In a motherfucking crypt, dude.
Exactly.
So he basically gets out of the cab. And a shot that I like, he uses his cane, which will come into play later. His cane. Because he's not even needing that cane, really. He can walk just fine. But he has his cane and he presses the button with the tip of his cane. And he goes, I have an appointment. This is H.P. Lovecraft. Like, okay, come on in. So he goes in there, and then one of the monks walks up to him, and he's holding these keys.
Right.
He's holding these keys and going, "Oh, what can we do for you today?" And he goes, "Well, I'm writing something, another story, because I'm H.P. Lovecraft, and I need to fact check the stuff that I'm writing."
And then the monk replies, "Fact checked? I thought you only dealt in fiction." Ooh. Very snobby and very, very condescending towards him. Yeah.
But he's like, anyway, so he takes him to where he wants to go, and he goes, well, he gets up on, he goes, what are you looking for? He's like an encyclopedia of some sort.
Oh, yeah, an alchemy encyclopedia. Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It's a ruse anyway.
Yeah, it's just a ruse.
And so the monk's up on those little ladders that you see librarians get on, and this is where...
So the monk is on these little ladders, and he's like, "Oh, what volume do you never said?" And he's like, "Oh, volume 3, of course."
Volume 3, of course.
And he goes for the keys. Now, let me tell you something about these keys. Okay, these keys are supposed to be lock and secure the book that unleashes dark secrets of the universe, right? So no mortal man should have in his possession, and he has them swinging around like a shift lead at Target. They weigh about 20 pounds. They have bells and gold plated,
there's bells
pretty much just like steal me, and they're like, okay. So he rips it from his.
No, the first time he goes for it, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work, but then the second time he goes for it, you can hear an audible. Click, yeah. And
it sounded like an airplane seatbelt. You know how loud those are when they click in, like click. It sounded like that. And then the monk doesn't notice
that he's 20 pounds lighter. The monk doesn't know that he's 20 pounds lighter, and he's like, okay. And these keys unlock the dark secrets of the universe that no mortal man should have in his possession. Do you keep the keys in a safe, locked, so no one else can see it, or in a place buried somewhere? B, do you put it around your neck, and hide it behind your shirt and carry it with you so for sure no one's going to take it unless it's off your cold dead body? Or C, do you put it on 4 feet of rope, swing them around like you're a shift lead at Target, put gold platinum on them, and then just kind of lazily put them onto your monk robe? Like, what would you do?
Definitely not that.
Well, they did C. They chose C. So anyways, and we'll go more into details later about how I'm not impressed with how
they secure this book.
They're the worst monks ever. They're the worst monks
that
ever.
Maybe God wrote. You think the government would be involved in this book at this point? But no, we got those monks in Compton. They got it.
Anybody can just
they're gonna guard it. We're
2
good.
normal monks. Just 2.
Just 2.
Here's your book, sir.
So he successfully lifts the keys, and he takes him down to where he's supposed to read his book or whatever. And he goes, "Well, just so you know, if you venture away from this place, consider your
privileges.
Your privileges are revoked, and you won't come back here."
And you won't come back here. It's like, okay.
And the monk just walks away.
And
And H.P. Lovecraft wastes no time.
He doesn't even wait for him to leave the room. He doesn't even wait for him to leave the room. He has these big ass jangling keys, which I don't know how he hid because they're on 4 feet of rope, and he walking across the
he goes downstairs.
Goes downstairs to
downstairs.
Just a normal looking room with like bars, like do not go in here.
Door shuts behind him.
Right.
Immediately.
And then he drops the keys.
He drops the keys through this grate, through this steel
grate.
grate.
Why there's a grate on
where
the
there's
floor,
water underneath
where there's
it,
water
and they do a
underneath.
shot where you see the keys
Because that's normal in a library.
So he's stuck in there.
Yeah.
So he's stuck in there.
So, as we get into this movie, there is a running theme here. About half these characters in this movie do not have any self-preservation skills, okay? So we look at H.P. Lovecraft, right? He goes into the door, he goes into the room, and he's trying to get the book. The first thing that happens, the door closes right behind him. He drops the keys down the grate, and the safe opens by itself. The book appears magically, flashes red with lightning, and he's all, okay, this is a good situation. And you're like, no, if that were to happen to me, I would totally avoid the whole situation, like spam calls on my phone. Like, just not even, I would drop everything and just try to leave out there the best I can.
And also, if those keys could talk,
right?
They're like, hey, so all right, I protect the most important book on the planet. I was lifted very easily, no effort.
Now dropped.
And then right after that, not even 5 minutes later, I'm dropped into water. So cool.
Yeah, cool.
Fuck you guys.
No, this world's gone.
Yeah.
This world's going to disappear.
I hope someone finds the book and kills all of you.
Exactly. It's just a very... you'll see the running theme as we go here, but he sits down and he starts reading the first story from the Necronomicon, which is called The Drown.
We are introduced to Bruce Payne.
Oh, Bruce Payne, yes.
Bruce Payne. I got excited because, again, we saw this for the first time with each other.
Is it because of his hair? Because his hair is amazing?
No, it's not because of his hair. It's because of his role in Passenger 57.
Oh!
For those who don't know, Bruce Payne, he's an English actor, handsome guy. He was in Passenger 57, one of my favorite action movies, believe it or not. I've watched that movie a lot.
It's a good movie.
It's really good.
I love that movie. Are you kidding me?
And he plays such a good villain in that. So when I saw him, I was like, oh, I'm hooked. Yeah. I'm into this. Yeah, and he drives up to the castle, goes to the gate. And basically the backstory for this is he inherited it, right?
Right.
And there's an insurance lady there.
Yeah, the insurance adjuster there, and she basically has found him saying, hey, your uncle of 60 years has been dead, and he left this inheritance to his next of kin, which would be you.
No, the 60 years was how long the place was uninhabited for.
Right, because he died 60 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay.
Yes. All right. Yeah. So, and then she explains to him, "Hey, she's talking shit about the property right off the bat.
Oh yeah,
this place needs to be torn down.
There's been secrets and whispers and a bad reputation."
And she goes, "It is built over a honeycomb of caves that sea water is constantly going in and out of. So it's being eroded. The honeycomb of caves is being eroded by seawater." That's what they built this motel on.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, hey, you want to build a stone castle? Let's go ahead and build it here on sand. Like, that's perfect on the beach. That's perfect.
Yeah, I know they didn't have regulations or stuff like that back then, in OSHA to make sure things were getting done safely. But no common sense.
Right. Even Jesus, in the Bible, said don't build your house on sand.
And they say, what about Jesus? Jesus, hold on. What about a honeycomb of caves? He said, no.
No,
not a honeycomb of caves.
No, you need a foundation to build upon.
Oh, man.
Okay. So, yeah, anyways, it's basically built on tissue paper. And it's crumbling, it's dilapidated, and it's falling apart.
She said the wallpaper is the only thing keeping this place together.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So, and she's smitten with him right off the bat. She's all on his jock.
Oh, she really likes him. Yeah, you can tell. She's not subtle about it at all in any way, shape, or form.
And they're walking through the foyer or the entryway to the hotel or whatever, and her heel slips through one of the floorboards.
Right.
And as the heel slips through the floorboards, the camera gives us this really cool shot as to what's below, showing us that honeycomb of caves.
Right.
So then they go up to a bedroom, and then he sees a portrait, and he's like, "Who's that?"
Yeah, and that's his aunt.
And then she goes, "Well, that's your aunt," and she drowned in a shipwreck. Pretty much like that. There was a ship accident, and she drowned in the ship accident, and your uncle threw himself off a balcony after that happened.
Right, and he's out on the balcony. and he's looking at over the balcony, and he's suffering from PTSD because he has this violent flashback of him driving through the countryside somewhere else, obviously, with his wife, and he's not paying attention. He goes off the road. The car goes into the water, and she ends up dying. His wife, Clara, ends up dying.
But he does go through the water to try to save her.
He does go through the water to try to save her. Except that this is Bruce Payne.
Bruce Payne.
And he knows he's not getting paid any money for this. So he's like, so he told the directors, I can't get my hair wet.
So it's funny because you see this scene, and it's in black and white, of course, because it's a flashback. And he's going, whatever her name was. Whatever her name is. He's like yelling it, looking
Clara,
for her.
It's Clara, yeah.
Clara.
And he's in like 2 inches of water.
Yeah, water splashing around him. And then we learned on the special features that the director's like, he told me I can't get my hair wet.
I can't get my hair wet.
I'm not going in the water.
I'm not gonna.
So this is all you're getting, buddy.
Yeah. And the director was like, oh, it's because the salt water. No worries. We'll just get your hair wet regular. He's like, no, I'm not getting my hair wet. And the director's like, okay.
He's all, I got a movie with Wesley Snipes coming up that's actually going to be released in theaters. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you know who Wesley Snipes is. Biggest action star of this time. Yeah.
And again, it's going to be in the theater.
Yeah, it's going to be in the theaters. So you get it. I'm just doing this as a favor for you.
Yeah. So then she tries to, remember, she sits on the bed. She goes, ooh, nice bed. Huh?
Nice bed.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, anyways, he wants nothing to do with her. Maybe he's still mourning his dead wife. So then it shows them they're outside. She's leaving, finally. This fucking nosy ass bitch is... If we were laughing because she keeps trying to tell him what to do with this property.
Right.
If I were you, I would tear this place down and move on with my life. And we were like, well, you know what?
Yeah.
Next, how about when you inherit a castle, you decide what you want to do with it. I didn't ask you for your advice. I didn't ask you for your fucking opinions. I don't even know you. I would tear this building down if I were you. And
yeah.
Just like,
or make it into something happy. And I'm like, you know what? When you inherit a property, you go ahead and you can turn it into yoga studios.
So
if you
tell
want.
you what, though, that's great and everything. But when you leave, can you go ahead and make sure get out of your car and shut the gate?
Yeah.
Because I don't need anybody else, especially people like you, coming in here trying to tell me what to do. So when you leave, make sure you shut that gate.
Yeah, I don't want anybody else on my property again.
On my property.
Yeah.
So if you could shut the gate when you leave, that'd be great.
That'd be great. Thank you. So before the insurance adjuster leaves, she leaves a note with passenger 57. This note basically tells the story of his uncle Jethro and what happened. Basically, he was shipwrecked off the coast of New England, and his wife and child perished. When he finally came to, after waiting hours for rescue, he wakes up to find a doctor over him with several other people, and they were trying to bloodlet him.
Which is get the bad blood out.
Yeah, bad blood,
movie,
because he had fog blood. So they start cutting his arm. He gets up and angry, and he's like, nope, I just need to get out of here. Can you imagine you're wrecked and you just wake up from a shipwreck?
Gotta get that fog blood out of here.
The doctor's like over there with you with a knife, like, okay, we gotta get this fog blood out of you. Like, there's nothing. I'd rather just not have doctors. So I'd rather just perish.
So he pushes the doctors off him. Like, everybody get off me. Jumps off the table. And then he goes downstairs to a funeral that he obviously wasn't invited to in his own fucking house. If that's not bad enough, then we get a look at this. I don't know if you want to call it a cast or a splint.
Oh, I call it a disaster is what I call it, because it's basically a splint made of two 2x4s. One longer than the other and haphazardly put on. I'm wondering if the doctor even nailed it into his freaking leg, because he's limping with it on. And it's like, it would have been better if he just would have cut off his leg.
No, or just deal with the broken leg. I just would have shook my leg every once in a while. Like, I know it's broken, but it's better than the stupid fucking thing that they put on my leg.
Why weren't they the same? Like, don't they have the same measure? Like, they know how to measure
One
things.
was longer than the other.
One was longer than
like,
the other.
I get it. Like, oh, well, let's make it look.
They just found two pieces of shipwrecked wood and they just put it on.
Just secured it to his fucking leg.
It looks like the start of them building a clubhouse that they never finished.
And then we zoomed in, and I saw, when we zoomed in, I saw a tire swing hanging from it. A rubber tire swing hanging from it. When we zoomed in, we actually zoomed in, we saw that hanging from this thing that they fucking tied to his goddamn leg.
So basically, Jethro is very upset that his wife and his son have perished in the shipwreck.
And the leg splint.
And the leg splint. Probably more so about the leg splint. And his wife and his son are both laying on the table, and he obviously gets upset. But how he gets upset is pretty cold and pretty gangster, because he picks up this huge 400-pound first century Bible and he lifts it over his head and he throws it in the fire and he curses any god that takes from him is not welcome in this house. And then he kicks all these fucking people out.
Gone!
Be gone!
Yeah.
And then he goes to mourn.
All right, so after kicking everybody out of the house, he's then left alone at night with his dead wife and dead kid on the table. And then that's when Dagon. Okay, Dagon.
Yeah, Dagon walks in. Well, it's supposed to be a representation of Dagon, yeah.
Yeah, Dagon walks in. He's basically just a fish man.
Fish man.
He's fish man. Necronomicon in your hand. Fish man. That's just a little side joke for us. If you laughed, cool. If not, whatever it was for us. But anyway, so he brings him the Necronomicon.
Right, but I love how Dagon comes in dressed. He comes in dressed, walking in like a WWE entrance. He's walking in all slow.
Like the Undertaker's
and he's dressed like the Undertaker. He has this big black rimmed hat and the big black boots. And like
he just says, in this time of need, you are not alone.
You are not alone. And he
leaves the Necronomicon.
And he leaves the Necronomicon. Yeah.
So Dagon is leaving. That's all he says.
Yeah.
And then he turns around, leaves in the book, and then Jethro is like, well, wait, but he can't keep up.
You can't. Why can't he keep up, Derek?
Because he has a fucking clubhouse, half-built clubhouse tied to his leg. And then I had to pause it again. I zoomed in again. I was like, wow, I really want to look at this thing. And when I zoomed in, above the tire swing, is really in the movie, you saw a no girls allowed sign above the tire swing hanging from this fucking thing that they tied to his goddamn leg. So he's trying to, hey, wait, but he can't keep up.
Oh my God.
Because he has a half-finished fucking house hanging off the side of his leg.
Well, so Jethro is left with the book, and apparently Jethro understands 3rd century Arabic because he's able to read it in English, and he does this ritual. And this ritual, he has to cut his wrist and spill blood over a pentagram.
A pentagram, yeah.
It's very cliche. But one of the things I noticed is like, you're already bleeding from the bloodletting and everything. Why cut yourself even more? You already have tubs of, like, you should pass out from the loss of blood that you have.
So he does a ritual. Basically brings his wife and kid back to life.
Right, he does.
Yep. And then so they come back to life, and he's, my son. He just keeps saying, my son.
My son.
My son. Come here, son. Come here, son.
And the son's coming and walking, and
Papa,
Papa, I don't feel good. I'm cold. The wife, it wakes up.
She gets off the table.
And she's not feeling well either.
And then their eyes, all of a sudden, here comes some 1993 effects. This is where the effects were kind of,
the digital effects were not the greatest.
But it works. So basically, their eyes just start glowing green.
Right.
And they're walking towards them. And then this is really cool. The kid, all of a sudden, they both start vomiting up shit from the ocean.
Well, here's the thing. When I saw it, it took me a couple tries to see what it was, but I saw squids. I saw like just kind of like barnacles.
Boot.
Yeah, anything that can be swallowed up. It was like they were spitting out. And the effect was really good because it looked like they were really spitting this nasty, mucusy stuff from the ocean.
And he's just going,
yeah. And then after they spit out all this horrible like stuff from their mouths, the kid finally embraces his father, and when he embraces his father, he opens his mouth and octopus arms come out of his mouth, which is a practical effect, and it looks amazing.
Yeah, it looked really fucking scary.
It looked really good.
And then it shows him on the balcony, like on the railing, getting ready to jump off.
Yeah.
Dead wife and kid, I guess. Dead wife and kid behind him.
He's like, he screwed up.
Obviously, he jumps off that balcony and kills himself.
Because he screwed up. He's like, yeah, man, I shouldn't have done this. I need forgiveness. After he curses God, he says, I need God. I need forgiveness. If there's no afterlife for me, at least there's oblivion. And which is pretty cold. And
then we cut back to passenger 57 reading the note.
Passenger 57 is like, well, what happened with the book? He wants to know where the book's at.
So he starts looking for the book.
Yeah, he starts looking for the book.
So he starts looking for
Again,
the book.
these people, like, he just wrote in a letter my kids woke up and my wife was resurrected and they spit out squids and they had octopus arms coming out of their mouth. And the first thing passenger 57 is like, oh, I need that book.
So he goes to the library in this place, I guess?
The place, yeah, it's just a bookshelf in like because that's where you're going to keep the Necronomicon. If you need it guarded, it's going to be on the bookshelf.
In a bookshelf in an old shitty motel, yep.
And he just like, you mentioned this, I'm like, oh, he's looking for the book. And he's like, he didn't even look for it.
He didn't even try very hard. He went through like 2 of the shelves. Because there's like a whole wall of books. He lazily looks for the book, doesn't find it, gives up after going through 2 shelves, and then decides to take a nap.
Right. And then he remembers something in the letter where it says, my wife guards the book. And so he looks at the portrait of his aunt and realizes that's what he means. The book's behind the portrait of the aunt, the wife. So he goes to the portrait.
Wakes up from his nap.
Yeah, wakes up from his nap, gets behind the portrait, and sure enough, there's the book. So passenger 57 immediately finds the book. And does he take a beat? Does he like re-examine the letter? Does he have a doubt or any kind of hinge of like hesitation to really like, maybe I shouldn't be doing this? No.
The
fucker just goes straight into the ritual, straight into the same ritual Jethro
does. And he
does.
Finds the same pentagram that Jethro,
his uncle, uses the same. Yeah, he's like, oh, it's already halfway done for me. I don't even have to do the pentagram.
Kicks this big ass table over, pulls his carpet back, and there's the pentagram already done for him.
So Jethro does the ritual. He spills the blood.
And then he goes and takes a nap.
He goes because
he's like, oh, okay, that's enough. I was up for 30 minutes now. I got to get another 8 hours of sleep.
Because, resurrecting the dead, I guess, takes a lot out of you.
I wouldn't be able to get any sleep.
Neither would I. Like, I just did this ritual my uncle did that brought back his wife and kid, and they turned into sea monsters. And now I did the same thing. I would be nervous. I would be drinking. Mm-hmm. I'd be drinking heavily, of course, but I'd be waiting in suspense. I'd be biting my nails, But he falls a fucking sleep.
Goes back to sleep, takes another nap, and then he is awakened by his wife.
His love comes back.
She comes back. The door creaks open.
Yeah. And as soon as his love come back, he doesn't even see that it's her yet. He just knows that it's her, and he starts crying and asking for forgiveness.
Was it Clara?
Clara, I'm so sorry. Oh, Clara. And then he finally's like, Clara, I should have been looking when I was driving.
He goes, it's my fault.
It's my fault. And I'm just like,
as she's walking towards him slowly, it's my fault. I should have been looking where I was driving.
And you're like, yeah, no shit. I mean, I'm no driver instructor, like driver's ed instructor, but I think looking is basic driving 101.
Man, if I was only looking where I was operating this motor vehicle, my wife would still be here.
I got 10 and 2 down, I got my mirrors down. It's just the looking part I have trouble with.
I can't get. I was like, I should have been looking while I was driving. Not like she was giving him roadhead or something.
No, nothing. Or like he had to swerve because a squirrel got into the road.
No,
he just,
I should have been looking where I was driving.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. That's how you drive.
So she starts to, she's walking up to him kind of sexually.
Right, it's very sexual.
For a dead lady, she looked pretty good. She looked pretty good for a dead lady. And then she like pushes him down on the bed, and he starts to lean back, and she goes, I'm tired of blowing bubbles.
Oh, yeah.
I was kind of turned on.
Because she's caressing his chest as she's going down on him, and she's like, I'm tired of blowing bubbles. And I'm like, whoa, this is okay.
Let's christen my new motel.
Yeah, let's do it. Yes. But of course, it doesn't.
No blowjob happens.
Yeah, no blowjob happens. It doesn't last very long. In fact, tentacles come out of her mouth.
Oh, tentacles start to come out of her mouth.
Yeah. So he pushes her off. And she's like, don't push me away. And then instead of tentacles coming out of her mouth, eye worms shoot out of her empty eye sockets and wrap around passenger 57's neck and starts choking him. Oh. And of course, conveniently, there's a sword there because why not? And he takes the sword and he chops the eye worms and basically...
Which all looks really good, by the way.
It does.
All these things we're talking about look great.
The effects were amazing and great, and then we realize and find out, which this doesn't look good at all, we find out that she's not actually Clara, but the tentacle from the beast down below
from the honeycomb
caves. I guess his tentacles can morph into people or whatever, and that's what it was. Because when he cut, the lady fell down and she screamed, and it turned back into a tentacle. But yeah.
So as he chops the tentacles away, it screams, ah! And then it pulls itself back into the honeycomb caves below.
Right, it does.
And then he comes out to the balcony, the entryway, like
it's the balcony
inside, in like the center of the motel.
Right.
And as he looks down, he can see through the floorboards because it's glowing green, of course. Why wouldn't it be with dry ice and all that shit? You see a gigantic creature. We don't know what it is just yet. This thing is
big,
easily the size of like 3 or 4 SUVs. I would guess easily the size of that,
and longer than a couple football fields because those tentacles have to be long.
And good on him because he thinks right away. He looks up and there's a chandelier hanging above right where this creature is crawling. So he gets the idea. Like, well, I'll just drop this chandelier on this fucking thing.
Pretty much. So the movie turns into like an Indiana Jones adventure.
It's very Indiana Jones.
And he cuts the rope and he jumps onto the chandelier, and the chandelier brings him up to the roof where he punches out the glass and tries to crawl away.
He knows how to do stuff like that because Uncle Jethro was a man of the sea.
Does he? Because
that's a pirate-like move, jumping on a chandelier.
He seems like he doesn't look when he drives and takes a lot of naps. It kind of.
But now he's jumping on a chandelier.
Yeah, but now he's jumping on a chandelier. Like all of a sudden, he's figuring shit out, and he's like, "I'm going to jump on a chandelier, break through the roof." Like,
he's like, before he jumps, okay, just look where you're jumping. Look where you're jumping.
Yeah, he couldn't even walk up the stairs when we first met him. He fell down the stairs when we first met him. But this guy's jumping on chandeliers and breaking through glass ceilings. But anyways, all that to say that the chandelier finally falls, and it has like a point at the end, which actually stabs the creature into its open eyes, causing the creature to fall back into the depths of the abyss. And we get somewhat of a happy ending where he's just looking out on the ocean.
I guess that's a happy ending there.
I guess that's a happy ending.
And then now that brings us back to our wraparound.
Yeah.
Because we do the wraparound. Oh, we do the wraparound. That's Ray Charles. We're doing the mess around. For those of you that didn't know, and if you didn't know that, then congratulations, you're a fucking racist. So you didn't know that's
a lot
Ray
of
Charles.
our listeners probably weren't born until 2005, so give them a little
you're
slack.
You're not a racist. You just don't know good music. That's all, which is just as bad. So then we go back to the library or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, the wraparound story.
Yeah, we go back to the wraparound story, and the monks basically discovered that H.P. Lovecraft has wandered off away from where he was supposed to be. And then the monks look at each other and go, "You don't think he's that brainless that he would try it, do you?" And they go, "Of course, he's human." So right there, that tells you that they're alien.
But pause. Yeah, we understand that the monks are not from this world, and they're talking shit on humans. However, you're the intergalactic space people who can travel from planet to planet in the 1932 fall in America, and you can't keep track of some damn fucking keys. So you know what?
Or one guy for that matter. So I don't know what you're talking shit about. You let this happen. You should be ashamed of yourself. And the other guy goes, "Well, he's human. Of course he's gonna try it. So why not then and there they go look for him?
Let's stop it.
Let's let him read some more stories."
Hey, if we don't stop this now, the world can end. But no, we're not gonna stop it. And yeah, so anyways, we get back to H.P. Lovecraft, and he's starting the second story, and the second story is called The Cold.
The Cold. Yeah, so we got The Cold, which just basically opens up with a reporter walking up to a big old house, and he's like, "I'm a reporter," and he knocks on the door, and a woman with shades answers the door.
Oh, yeah, the shades.
She has really big shades on, which will come into play later. And he goes, I'm a reporter from the Boston Journal. My name is Dale Porkle." She goes, "Are you a cop?" And he takes off his shades. He goes, "Do I look like a cop?" No.
No, he does not look like a cop.
No, I'm a reporter. My name is Dale.
In fact, he was dressed like a salesman that goes door to door selling vacuums.
Oh, and so she lets him in, and he walks in, and the house is really, really cold.
Right.
Very cold.
It's
right off
freezing.
the bat. And he basically sits on the couch and just said, he opens up with a threat right away. Because he goes, "Hey, I'm really interested about 11 bodies missing from the last 40 years.
Right.
So right
with the same MO. Supposedly there's 11 murders with all the same MO in the last 40 years.
And she's like, would you like some coffee or whatever she offers him? And he's like, of course. So he drinks a drink from a complete stranger.
Right.
Horror movie rule,
after
like
he threatens,
number 35, don't ever drink.
After he threatens her, because he basically tells her, like, if you don't give me the answers I need, I'm going to go and...
I'm just going to run with the story I got.
I'm going to run with the story I got, and then you can deal with the cops later. So she agrees. And she starts with the story very innocently enough about her mother 22 years ago. She's basically our hero of this story. She leaves for Boston to practice the flute. She starts off really well by getting dropped off by a taxi and renting a room. This brief interaction, we learn that she doesn't have all the Excedrin tablets in the medicine cabinet. She right away says, hey, I need a room and I'm all alone in the world, and no one should ever be coming looking for me or nothing. And you're like, you don't need to divulge that information at all.
She's basically, I need a room and I'm here by myself. I don't have anybody with me. No one knows where I'm at.
No one knows where you don't need
another horror movie rule broken right there.
I have no friends, no family. It's like you're just basically offering yourself to the lions at this point.
So then she's shown to her room, but as she's walking to her room, the lady like looks up and goes, "Don't ever disturb that man on the. I guess he's on the 3rd floor or whatever. Don't ever disturb Dr. Madden."
Dr. Madden, yes.
And you don't see him, you just see his shadow briefly, and then the door shut.
So, very mysterious.
She's like, "Okay, whatever. I'm gonna take a shower." And she's showering, get a boob shot, pretty cool. And then the camera pans down to her legs, and she has bruises on her legs as she's showering.
And not just her legs, but her back as well, yes.
Yeah, so she has bruises all over her. And then she comes out of the shower.
Mm-hmm.
And then, does she notice the stain on the ceiling?
She notices the stain.
She looks up, there's a stain on the ceiling.
And it's just like a white stain, and it's dripping into her room.
It's a clear fluid.
It's a clear fluid.
Yeah, it's a clear fluid.
It's obviously coming from Dr. Madden's apartment.
And then this is when
the biggest pieces of shit of this movie
comes in. This guy just barges into her room because the door's unlocked.
Yeah.
She showered with the door
unlocked. Because she has no self-preservation skills at all.
Tells people I'm here alone.
And leaves the door unlocked.
This guy comes in. He's like, hey, he starts groping on her. She's like, just leave me. He's like, hey, your mom's all bloated and passed out on the couch or some shit. I heard you came here to Boston to learn the flute, which I didn't know you had to go to Boston to learn the flute.
I didn't know Boston had a music department that was worldwide.
Big on the flute.
Yeah, renownedly known for its
flute
flutist
players. In Boston there.
Yeah.
So, and he's like, yeah, but heard you're learning the flute, but I want you to pray. She goes, I'm not ever going to let you touch me again. He said, who said anything about letting me touch you?
Yeah.
I heard you're learning the flute, and I want you to practice on my instrument.
Right. Here's the thing. I don't think he's musically inclined at all.
So I was like,
what are you talking about, sir?
Play on my flute. I was like, maybe he has a flute.
Maybe he has a flute, but he doesn't.
So again, I paused, zoom in.
I
didn't find no flute, no flute case, nothing like that.
Nothing like that.
I think he meant a sexual thing.
Yeah. And obviously there is a struggle. They start to fight. And she's really good because when he puts her hand on his penis, she grabs it. She really squeezes it, which gives her enough time to hit him with the flute and then runs out the door. And as he's trying to grab her, she slams the door on his arm, and then her basic survival skills kick in. Now, does she A, run out the door that's just closest to her, which is the exit? Does she B, scream for help for the other tenants in the apartment building to come out and help her in the situation? Or does she C, go up the stairs where there's no exit?
She goes with C, I'm going to go up the stairs to the room that I was told not to go into. So right off the bat, she's not a good tenant. She's breaking rules right off the bat. She's running up to that guy's room. And then the guy that's assaulting her chases her up the stairs, grabs her, and he just starts pimp slapping the shit out of her. It's really, it actually is hard to watch. He's just beating the shit out of this poor girl. He's slapping the shit out of her. And then all of a sudden, we're introduced to Dr. Madden.
Right, Dr. Madden comes out cold.
The door opens. He's on top. Not Dr. Madden, but the bad guy's on top of her. And Dr. Madden comes out with a scalpel.
Yes, he
stabs
does.
it straight through that fucking pimp hand of his.
Wait, he stops the pimp hand in mid-slap.
Oh.
He stops it like he's Batman, and he
shoves
him.
a scalpel, not a knife. He didn't just grab a baseball bat behind his door like most people have. No, he grabs a scalpel, shoves it through his palm.
And what happens to the guy is pretty comical to me because he falls down the stairs like it's a Jerry Lewis movie. He's all,
that fall was funny. After he stabs him, he pushes him, and he rolls down the stairs all stupid. He rolls down the stairs. It's very comical. Really stupid. I laughed out loud.
Yeah, I
did too. That was a dumb fucking tumble, but
and
it was
then
funny.
Kind of like this Three Stooges, and he falls flat on his face.
And then she wakes up in Dr. Madden's room.
She does wake up in Dr. Madden's room. Yeah, she does. And instead of when she comes to, because she hit her head on one of the stairs, the first thing that she says to Dr. Madden is not, hey,
thanks for saving me.
No. She starts complaining about the ammonia or something dripping from her ceiling that she noticed in her apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's like, hey, you gonna fix that?
Yeah.
Or I noticed something dripping. No mention or self-awareness that the fact or that, hey, I'm sorry you had to get involved. Thank you for helping me out. Thank you for saving me from being sexually harassed and raped and whatever the case may be. But you start off with ammonia? Like, that's a later conversation.
She's already complaining to him.
She's already fucking complaining to him.
Because if I was him, I would be like, oh, yeah, you know what? I couldn't help but notice a fucking lunatic chasing you up a staircase that you weren't even supposed to be on. You weren't even supposed to, they told you not to come up here.
They told you, and that's the first thing you did. If I was me, I was like, that's a really weird way to say thank you. Like, that is a weird way to say thank you.
Tell you what, I'll work on the stains leaking through your ceiling when you work on lunatics, because you're here for, this is your first fucking day here. And you're already going where you're not supposed to go, and lunatics are chasing you.
I lived here for 25 years, and never did I have to stab a pimp in all my time that I've been living here.
And in that same time, that she goes, well, where's Sam? And we learn that Sam was her stepdad.
Yeah, the person that Dr. Madden stabbed in the hand was actually named Sam,
her ass,
and he was the stepdad.
And he just goes, well, I have a feeling he's not going to be bothering you anymore.
And that's it.
And she doesn't go, well, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Where is he?
Yeah, nothing like that.
She just goes, oh, okay.
Okay. Cool. Cool story. So after this awkward conversation, she is freezing cold, and the environment is cold around her, and Dr. Madden has to explain to her that he suffers from a rare skin disorder where he has to keep his environment unreasonably cold. Now, I'm going to call our hero Numbnuts because she makes some very, very bad decisions. One coming up just here in a little bit. For example, the doctor sends her on her way with some vitamin C and a mystery pill he just calls medication. Now, do you, A, do not take this medication, politely decline it and realize, because that's what a normal person would do. Or B, take the medication and throw it away when you get home. Or C, down the hatch.
She goes with C. Down the hatch. But she does it in the stupidest fashion. It's so funny, too, because she looks at the pills. She just looks at them because the woman that is renting her the room is Lena.
Right.
And she's standing there with Lena, and she just goes, she looks at the pills. Lena's staring at her menacingly, and she just goes, these pills. Just like that.
Yeah. That's all she says.
pills.
Numbnut says, these pills.
So she's obviously unsure about it, but then just still proceeds to shovel them in her mouth.
Right.
And that right then and there, I just go, please don't let her be the final girl. Please don't let her be the fucking final girl. The lady, Lena's looking at you menacingly.
Right.
As you're questioning taking these pills, she goes, well, the doctor's doctor, the doctor's orders, huh?
He could be a literature doctor. You don't know what kind of doctor he is.
I bet you Lena probably thought, oh, shit, she's not going to take the pills.
Yeah.
She reported back to Dr. Mary like, dude, bitch is numbnuts over
just
here.
Took all of them.
She even was questioning
She's all
it.
yummy, yummy, yummy.
Well, what did she say? What happened? She just said these pills and then took
the
them.
pill.
And then took them. So Then she goes to sleep, right? And then when she wakes up, she looks up at that ceiling again. Looks up at that ceiling, and instead of a clear fluid, this time it's blood.
Ooh,
this time
spooky.
it's blood dripping down from the ceiling. I'm like, now we're talking.
Yeah.
So she gets out of bed and goes. She has a stupid bandage wrapped around her head the whole fucking time, and she goes up the stairs to where she's not supposed to be going. Once again, breaking the rules. Horrible tenant. Goes up. Doors unlocked. This place. Just no one in this movie believes in locking doors or keeping shit secure, obviously. What we touched on at the beginning of this.
No one in this movie.
No one in the movie
wants to keep anything secure.
And she opens the door and you see Lena, the lady who rented her the room, is holding down Sam, I think it is. I believe it might be Sam, the shitty stepfather. And then it shows Dr. Madden shoving a goddamn roto-hammer. A roto-hammer, which for those of you who don't know, that's a big-ass drill that's designed to core holes through concrete. I use them in my line of work. When we have to treat for subterranean termites, we have to bore a hole through the concrete. It's just and it like goes through concrete. He's using that on his fucking head, which I think the people who did this movie probably didn't realize. Like they probably should have used a regular drill. So it was like,
well, they have to. Well, we'll go to that. We'll mention that later.
And he's like, hold him still, and he's shoving this roto hammer drill into his fucking head.
Hold him still.
And she looks at it, and then she's like, oh, okay, and then looks over to the right and looks down and sees like a little bit of blood,
just
dripping off the cabinet or whatever the hell they have Sam on that they're fucking drilling his head in. And then she faints.
Right.
So I'm like, right off the bat, if you're going to faint, you would think it would, after you saw the drill going through a head. No. It's a little bit, I can't take the blood. That's what I can handle the drill through the brain. But God, if I see a little bit of blood, I'm going to faint. So then she faints. And then Dr. Madden slowly walks towards her, pretty much.
So here's the thing. She wakes up led to believe by Dr. Madden and Lena that it was just a bad dream caused by the medication. So she goes to get a job. How she gets a job, I don't know, because she's like a deer in headlights, this girl.
Al's Diner.
But she goes to Al's Diner to get a job, where if she can get a good tip from 2 police officers, she can get a job. And she goes right in head first, and she puts the apron on, and she goes, what can I get you guys? And instead of listening to the order, which I'm sure she probably got wrong 6 times, she notices on the table that there are murder posters and missing posters that the police have kind of sprawled out on their table. There's missing people here. It's probably Dr. Madden. She goes to Dr. Madden and she confronts him about this, and Dr. Madden kind of just like whatever.
It's because she just comes up and she goes, that wasn't a dream like you said, was it?
She barges into his house and just like, it wasn't a dream like you said. And I think you're doing something wrong. Where's Sam? Oh, the guy who sexually harassed you and was
beat the shit out of you?
In our public apartment.
Which I would be happy if he was gone. Yeah. I would have been rooting for like, yes, drill harder. When I walked in that fucking room. Like, this isn't a nightmare. This is a fucking
dream come true. Dream come true. And basically, she leaves and she's upset. And basically, Dr. Madden goes downstairs and he's telling her, hey, look, I would have killed that asshole anyways.
Either way, for what he did to you.
For what he did to you, whether he died down the stairs or not.
It's not the murder that I'm mad about. It's because you lied to me. And we paused the movie and we laughed for about 3 hours, I think. Murder, and how dumb numbnuts is. Just like, it's not,
murder's not a problem.
It's not that.
It's not a deal breaker.
It's because you lied to me.
You lied to me.
You lied to me. Dude. Yeah. Unbelievable.
Oh my God. And I'm putting my head in my hands and I'm rubbing my temple because this is just how stupid she is.
And she should have knew that was Sam from the beginning.
She should have.
She shouldn't have to see the missing posters, little flyers on the cop's dining table. Like she should have known. Hey, that wasn't a dream.
That wasn't a dream.
He just throws more pills
I'm
at her.
not upset about the murder.
Take these pills.
I'm not upset about the murder. I'm upset that you lied to me. I thought we were friends. I just met you.
Yeah. I'm 100 years old. Because that's the thing, too. We got to touch on that is when she goes to get that job at Al's Diner. Al's Diner is the guy that says, hey, if you can impress those 2 cops and get a tip, then the job is yours, hands her the apron.
Right.
But he goes, where are you living? And she tells him where she's living. He goes, whoa, Dr. Madden? What, that guy must be 100 years old.
Yeah, and she's like, I don't think so.
She's like, I don't know.
I'm not good with numbers.
Yeah, so now he decides, Dr. Madden decides, all right, I'm going to come clean. I'm going to come clean with you, okay? And he attempts to explain the Necronomicon and cryptobiosis to numbnuts. So he's just, all right, I'm going to tell you what's going on. I'm going to tell you everything right now. Have you ever heard of a water bear? It's this living organism that it can die. What is it? It can die, but then you can put it back in.
Yeah, it could be self-preserved and dry in the cool or in the cold, or it could be dried and then it can come back to life with water.
With water.
That's it.
It's actually called cryptobiosis.
Cryptobiosis.
And he's gotten all this from the Necronomicon, which we see in his apartment. Right. He has that book.
He has that Necronomicon book. Exactly.
So he's explaining the Necronomicon and cryptobiosis. He goes, it's called cryptobiosis. And she's just all looking at him. She has no clue as to what the fuck he's talking about. But for what it's worth, he attempts to explain it to her. It's not his fault if she's stupid. And then all of a sudden they wander into this greenhouse on the roof.
Yes, they do.
But it's a cold greenhouse. It's cold. It's a really cold greenhouse, which doesn't make any fucking sense.
I have no idea.
I'm sure there's plants that thrive in cold environments, I'm sure, but not in a greenhouse on a roof in the city. Whatever. And then he grabs this rose and he's like, yes, see, this rose was eventually meant to perish.
Right.
And he holds the rose like, well, yeah, because you have it in a fucking refrigerator. No wonder it's fucking dead. But then he takes a syringe of this clear fluid that we saw leaking from the ceiling, and he injects the rose, and the rose comes back to life, and he hands it to her, and he says a bunch of smooth-ass shit to her, explaining what he's doing, which I was too lazy to write down. And if I couldn't understand what he was saying, for sure numbnuts didn't know what the fuck he was saying. But either way, he hands her that rose. That would work. If you grabbed a dead rose and made it come back to life and handed it to a chick... And so he brings the rose back to life,
right?
Hands it to her, and then we just get this really sexy love scene.
Oh, is it sexy?
It's a very hot love scene.
Because the doctor...
He's supposed to be 100.
But he's obviously in his 60s, mm-hmm. And we know this when he takes off his shirt, and we see all the liver spots on his back. And it's the worst, unsexy, laziest love scene. Him
on top, and not even all the way on top of her.
He's just on top of her a little bit, and he's kind of like, it looks like he's falling asleep on her, and she's like, whatever. And I'm not saying that I haven't had lazy sex like that before, but all I'm saying is you've been around for 100 years and you don't have any other moves than that.
Just missionary?
I know, just laying on top of her on the couch with his shirt off. And then we find out that he's actually melting. That's because of the sex or whatever. So anyways, after coitus, she wakes up and does the walk of shame downstairs from Dr. Madden's apartment, where she is met and confronted by Lena, who does have affectionate feelings for Dr. Madden, who he does not reciprocate those same feelings, obviously. But she has a knife, and she confronts Numbnuts, and she says, I can either use this on you, or you can use it on me, because you have to either be willing to die for Dr. Madden or to kill for him. And she's all, what?
She gives her an option. She walks up and goes, knowing her, she's like, well, I don't know. She might pick for me to stab myself or to stab her.
What's the question again? What?
She goes, well, I could either use this on you or use this on me.
She's like, look, Dr. Madden just tried to explain cryptobiosis to me. My head is full and my head is pounding. I'm just going to leave. And she just runs away.
Yeah. So Lena basically says, look, I'm loyal to this guy.
Right.
You're just some little hussy coming around here. I'm mad about it. And then Numbnuts just leaves. She just
right, and she runs away. She does the right thing, and she leaves Lena and Dr. Madden until we find out that when she left, I'm sure it's just a couple of weeks, she comes back from her gynecologist and she finds out that she's pregnant. Mazel tov.
So a little bit of time goes by, and then Numbnuts goes back to the place.
Numbnuts.
She goes back, and then she barges into Dr. Madden's room, and she sees Lena and Dr. Madden holding Al, her boss, the guy that hired her at Al Donner's, being held at Al's diner, being held down in the crypto chamber.
Yeah, they're trying to do what they did to Sam to Al. Yeah.
Right. So she's like, hey, and then Lena slams the door shut, the crypto door shut on Al, and his fingers get severed, all 4 of them. Oh,
because that door's gotta be it's a crypto chamber, so it's gotta be heavier than shit.
Okay, so now Al's fingers are severed, and then so Numbnuts pushes Dr. Madden aside, and he's already, the melting process has begun. He's starting to melt, and then she stabs Lena with the scalpel.
Right.
Buying her time to lift that crypto chamber door open.
Exactly.
Getting Al out of there.
Right. And Al's just like, oh my God, I was just coming to visit you because I haven't seen you in a while. I wonder where you've been. And
you haven't been at work, so I came over here to check on you.
I'm trying to be a good guy, and I'm sitting here in a crypto chamber.
And so Numbnuts puts her arms around Al, and she's like, okay, let's go, which I'll be scared. I'm like, you're going to save my life? This is my rescue?
I'm not going to make it, am I?
Didn't you take pills without questioning it earlier? And so she's limping away with him, and then Lena jumps up and stabs Al in the back
and
with the
both
scalpel.
Fall
and
down.
they both fall down. And that's when Lena turns to Dr. Madden and says, this is why we got to get rid of this girl. She can't be trusted. She left you once. She'll leave you again. I'm the only one who's loyal to you. She knows too much now. We have to get rid of her. But he's like, oh, no, but she's the love of my life, and she's in her 20s, and she gave it up to me, so I'm captivated now. And Numbnuts' stupidity must be contagious. Because now Dr. Madden is like, as he's complaining about, oh, no, I can't do that, he flails his arms about, knocking over a bunch of beakers and scientific-looking jars with obviously flammable fluid in it, because as soon as they hit the floor, they just catch on fire. Which is a stupid fucking move on his on his behalf because of his condition.
So first of all, if I was Dr. Madden, I would look at Lena, I go, these beakers here, anything flammable in these beakers? Because heat's bad for me, right?
Heat's like I can't.
Yeah, and I'm going to be using a drill. I'm going to try to extract spinal fluid from these people. I'm trying to kill people. I can't have.
What if we get into a tussle?
Yeah, chemical reactions happening that cause fires to break out. Then I'm fucked, Lena.
So,
can we clear the table, please?
So he gets mad and knocks over. He purposely does it. He just knocks over all these things, and then a big ass fire breaks out.
And he starts to melt.
And you're just like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
well, now you're melting.
Yeah, now you're melting. Not only was Dr. Madden melting, but here we have the sickest, grossest, best practical effect melting I have ever seen done in a movie. And I have watched literally thousands of horror movies and seen thousands of people melt in horror movies, and digital, practical, puppets. I've seen it all. And this one, by far, takes the cake.
It's definitely the best kill of the movie, that's for sure.
Yeah.
The best death.
Oh, my God. Mm-hmm. His face starts to melt off, right? And then after his face melts off, he's showing his muscle, and then his muscles start to melt. And then after his muscles melt, he opens up his shirt. And mind you, it's still going. Like, there's no cuts. This is like a one take scene, and everything is melting. Goo, green ooze, mucus. He opens up his shirt, he rips off his skin and exposes his bones, and he just finally melts into nothingness. His body collapses,
falls into a clump of clothes. Basically
falls into a clump of clothes. His head is detached because it's no longer, his body can no longer support the weight of his head. His head rolls.
His head rolls over, and it's just a skull, basically, with just a little bit of flesh left on it.
Yeah, with one
and it rolls
eye,
over looking at Emily because Emily's on the ground.
And it only has one eye, and he goes,
Emily.
Emily.
Because Numbnuts is Emily.
Yeah.
When we ever say Numbnuts, that's Emily.
Yeah.
And then his eyeball doesn't pop.
No.
It just sinks in on itself. Like
sinks in, and the liquid comes out of the eye.
And then green ooze comes out of the eye. He just goes, Emily.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
It was so good. I loved it. Anyways.
So now Lena's got a gun.
She's got a gun.
Mm-hmm.
And she shoots numbnuts and
shoots her in the back.
Yeah, from the back. She shoots numbnuts and I don't even know what happens to Al. Does Al live? Does he die? We don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't show.
Doesn't show.
Yeah, it doesn't
Poor
show.
Al, like, you know.
He probably just ran out of the building because he's smart.
I would have.
He's just like, well, I
I'm
won't
done
have
with
any
these
fingers.
people. Yep. I
Gotta
don't have
learn
any
how to be
fingers.
a
Got a
diner
scalpel in my back. Anyways, Emily, she's about to finish off Emily with the gun. She's like, I'm done with this bitch. I'm going to just finish her right now. And Emily's like, I'm pregnant.
And she just goes, I'm pregnant.
And it's his kid. And then we cut to Porkly.
Porkle.
I like Porkly better, fool.
Porkle.
Yeah, it's Porkle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyways, we cut back to Porkle, and Porkle's bundled up in a blanket, sipping coffee, obviously cold as hell. And he realizes that the math really isn't mathing right now. He's like, well, if this is the case, if this is what's going on, how come 4 more murders happened after Dr. Madden's death, supposed death?
And he sounds drunk, too.
He does. He sounds drunk.
like he's really drunk. It's because obviously he was drugged.
He was drugged.
At the beginning of this episode.
And he stands up and he's like, with the same MO, can you explain that, please?
And then she removes her glasses, her shades, because she's wearing these shades the whole time, which is supposed to trick us, the viewer of the movie, not him, because he has no way of knowing how she looked anyways. But it kind of tricks you as the viewer, like, oh, and then it's Emily. It's numbnuts when she takes these big shades off, because they're kind of oversized shades to cover her face as much as they can. And she takes the shades off.
And basically, she tells her story. She's like, you're right. I am not the daughter of Dr. Madden. I am Emily. I am numbnuts. And
I'm still pregnant. Still pregnant after all these years.
I still have the baby inside me, and I need spinal fluid. And during these hot days, I like to stack up on spinal fluid.
Because these ACs cut out during these really hot-ass days.
Right.
Yeah.
And just then we realize Porkle's like, oh, you drugged me! And he falls down, and she's like, well, whatever.
And she's like, right, Lena?
Right, Lena? And then Lena, she's like 100
years
years old, comes out with a syringe, and it pans in a close-up on Lena with the syringe, her being 100 years old. And
I don't care. Again, I don't care how drugged I am. I'm fucking that old lady up, dude. I've done a lot of drugs and drinking in my life, dude. It's going to take a little more than whatever you put in my little cup of coffee. I'm fucking that old bitch up, dude. And the movie that story would have ended a lot different.
Right.
With the reporter leaving there after with
don't drug me, kill me. Put poison in it.
Yeah, but then it just ends with Lena leaning into the reporter Porkle.
And
obviously he's a goner.
He's dead. He's mucho dead.
Back to our wraparound.
We
do the wraparound.
We give you wraparound.
Oh, we do the wraparound. So we go back to H.P. Lovecraft in the wraparound. And I love it because it's short and sweet. He basically just goes, oh, shit, shuts the book. That was a crazy fucking story. And then we're right back into the next one.
We're right back into the next
Right
story.
back into the last one of this anthology, ladies and gentlemen. It's called Whispers. This last one, I felt it should have been called The Butcher. You'll see why after we explain this awesome story to you. This was the strongest one out of the 3.
Oh,
would you say?
They ended it just right. Solid.
Unlike
really
Tales from the Dark Side that we covered.
Oh my God!
Unlike that one where they saved the
most
shittiest
boring
for
one?
the last one. Yeah, this one does it just right. They saved the best for last. So basically, this story. We open up now. We're in almost what would be modern time in 1993. In 1993, where it's a cop car chase scene. We open up with 2 cops chasing a suspect. Paul, he's the male guy, black dude, yelling at the female blonde chick. He's yelling at her like, "Oh, stop pursuing this guy!"
Yeah,
and because like, why are you saying to stop pursuing this person? So obviously, you learn that they have some beef pretty quick. Because he all of a sudden just takes his seatbelt off and is like, fine, you want to kill us both. And you're just like, whoa, what's this about? Right. There's something here to this.
And they're in the middle of a car chase. So you're like, they're doing 90 miles per hour. They're chasing the suspect. And you're like, what the fuck is going on?
And he goes, look, I know I shouldn't have slept with you. And I go, oh. They're having this conversation as they're chasing somebody, as they're chasing a suspect. I don't know about you. We're both married. We've had some really hardcore arguments, I'm sure, with our wives.
We have.
But if I was going to have one, I I guess I'm just, what I'm trying to say is I would like my arguments pursuit free.
Oh, yeah.
Meaning I wouldn't want to do it while we're chasing a suspect
First of all,
down.
if my wife is in the car driving 90 miles an hour, I'm not arguing with her.
I'm not going to argue with her.
I'm going to do, hey, whatever you say, babe, whatever you want. Do you want to get some Chick-fil-A? Like, just slow down. We'll take a beat.
I definitely wouldn't take my seatbelt off the way Paul does either.
and just start nagging her and irritating her. Like,
so, and then through their argument, they hit some dilapidated car that just happens to be in the way.
Right, but before that, we realize that she's pregnant. She's like, I'm afraid to be a mother.
Okay.
I'm afraid to be a mother.
So there we go.
And that's the whole premise of this entire story. Car crashes because she's not paying attention and she's going 90 miles per hour.
The car flips. It literally fucking just flips over upside down.
Right. And right away, because her name is Sarah, and we're going to get to know Sarah.
We got Sarah and we got Paul.
Pretty
Those are our
good.
cops.
Sarah and Paul, we're going to get to know them pretty fucking good. And here's the thing with Sarah. You get to know that nothing is ever her fault. And basically, we find out that the butcher or somebody pulls Paul out of the car and takes him away.
So drags him away into this abandoned-looking warehouse, which has the butcher and a bunch of crosses graffitied all over it.
Okay, so here's my thing. Cops are in pursuit of someone called the Butcher. They want to get this guy. He's a murderer. I think the first place I would look would be an abandoned building.
The abandoned warehouse.
With Butcher tagged and spray painted all over the place. That's a pretty good place to start if you're going to commit some crimes.
But whatever, we got to keep the movie going, so...
Sarah escapes the cop car. She gets out and she basically tries to call for help.
And as she's calling for backup, just all she gets back is little weird.
She's like,
inaudible.
help.
You can't really understand what they're saying. Yeah,
that's the only smart thing. That's the only
smart
smart thing she did in this entire story was try to call for backup and then get upset when she got nothing back.
She couldn't get backup, so then she goes to the door.
She goes to the door
of the warehouse, and when she opens it, jump scare, a bunch of crows fly out, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
no. It is really cool. But here's the thing. There's what did you call it? You called it the barbarian hallway, the tunnel?
Oh, it's a barbarian type tunnel.
Right.
That Paul is getting dragged down.
Right.
So the camera's showing Paul's body being dragged down this tunnel by the butcher, whom we don't know who it is yet.
So here's my thing with Sarah. She sees Paul being dragged. She sees the pool of blood. She noticed that the building's dilapidated and in not working order. She tried calling for backup, and she didn't get the backup. So what does she do? You think, I'm just going to find a way to communicate or find a phone and get more backup and call the police. She enters the building. She doesn't like staying alive. A lot of these people don't like being alive in this movie at all. They're like, no, don't worry about anything. Carefree.
She's pregnant.
And she's pregnant.
Again, no self-preservation.
No self-preservation skills whatsoever. She's like, I'm going to go down this dark, dirty hallway, lit by candles, by the way, and follow in pursuit of the butcher. Sarah does eventually see Paul in this warehouse elevator kind of opened concept and is going down the elevator. Now, does she stop immediately and go try to find help? B, leave because that's what a normal person would do? Or C, shoot the actual elevator button, run and chase after Paul, and then fall through some ceiling ducts? What do you think happens?
Well, I'm going to go with C because I watched the movie. But isn't it funny, just a side note here, how I like when she tries to hit the button for the elevator, it doesn't work.
Right.
But then when she pulls out her gun and shoots the elevator button, all of a sudden the elevator comes on.
Yeah.
I think if you're an elevator technician, that's in your manual. Hey, try to work on the
You don't
circuits.
have any tools. You just have a gun?
Yeah, you just go around shooting. Go, there you go, it's
And
fixed.
as an elevator technician, you go, well, have you tried shooting the elevator?
Have you tried shooting the bullet?
Yeah, have you tried?
at the button.
You guys can save yourself a lot of money just by shooting
just buy a gun and shoot these bullets, yeah. So as she falls through the duct because she trips on this rope. Right. She trips on this rope.
Because it's a dilapidated building.
Rope wraps around her ankle. She falls through the duct. And she's about to fall because she's a couple of stories up inside this building. And right before she falls, the rope gets taut enough to where it keeps her from hitting the concrete.
And
so
like, pretty much
she's
impaling herself on
down.
a bunch
her
of jagged wood.
Her badge falls off of her. And then she eventually works herself out of that situation and then goes into a room.
Right.
Where we now, all of a sudden, this guy just walks into the frame just out of nowhere.
Okay, but you got to explain it, Derek, because when you explained it to me, I thought it was perfect.
Oh, the way this guy looked?
Yeah.
So she comes to this door because she's trying to pursue Paul. She's looking for Paul,
She's looking for Paul. That's her partner. That's the whole concept of this whole story.
She comes to this door. It's not open. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, comes this guy that looks like a broke-ass, divorced substitute teacher. I think that's the best way I could describe him.
And once you said that, I go, that's what a broke substitute teacher, that's exactly what he would look like.
Divorced substitute teacher.
Yeah. His wife left him and everything,
and he looks very, very innocent, kind of like
you wouldn't be afraid.
You wouldn't be afraid of him, but that's how I knew. Like, okay, this guy's bad news. This movie does hold your hand. It absolutely does hold your hand.
You know that this guy's the butcher right off the bat. Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's going to be the guy.
That's going to be the guy.
That's the butcher there.
Right.
And so she's like, he's like, well, what are you trying to do? She's like, I'm trying to find my partner. And he's like, okay, well, she's like, open that door. He goes, well, I'm the owner of this building. I own it top to bottom. I own this building. She's like, okay, good. You own the building? Well, then open the door. And I don't think you know how on the side of cop cars it says here to protect and serve?
Yeah, no, that's out the door.
That's not her. That's not her style.
She's her actions are based on emotionally, not
rude.
logical.
This is a rude cop.
Right, because if it was me and I saw this guy, I would, there would be so many red flags in my mind that are like, I need to take a beat and I need to leave and I need to get real help. But here I am, pregnant, and I'm about to telling this guy, take me further deep down into this abyss or this warehouse. And my favorite is, I lost the keys.
Yeah. He's like, oh, funny thing is, he goes, I lost the keys. And then he goes, well, funny thing is about this building, it tends to swallow up things as if they didn't exist.
And
pause.
He pauses.
Right there.
He pauses. He's like, and then he looks at her.
He looks at her.
Like,
he should have said it again. Tends to swallow up things as if they didn't exist.
And she's all, so?
She seems annoyed that he's trying to give her information. She's like, shut up and open that door and take me further into said building that swallows things up as if it didn't exist.
Yeah. He's like, are you sure? Okay.
Strike one.
Well, you want to go down further? Go down. Just follow me, I guess.
So then how do they get the door open?
They don't. He's like, oh, you want to go further down? Just follow me. So Sarah is obviously bad at reading the room and looking for signs that might keep her alive. And it makes me question, Sarah, do you really want to stay alive? Because you're basically just every single instinct, even as a police officer or a regular human being, would be like, no, let's not go deeper into this building into a basement. That would be the number one thing that you should not do, and yet you are doing. And basically, she follows this gentleman down, and she is shot at by another introduction of a character of a blind woman. Now, the blind woman comes out with the gun, and she's like, oh, I thought you guys were both the butcher. And basically, Sarah's like, you almost shot a cop. Give me that gun. And I'm thinking, what are you thinking, Sarah? How many signs do you need? Get out of there.
But she disarms the blind lady, takes her gun.
She does disarm the blind lady, and then she insists on moving forward.
Still looking for her partner. Now she has the shotgun. It's a shotgun trained on both
of them.
The broke divorced substitute teacher and the blind lady.
The blind lady, which they lead her into a room. And
it looks like where they live. It kind of looks like where they kick it. There's like a couch, a living room.
If you could live in a place, I guess that's the best place you can live in this building. And basically, there's an old-timey record player playing old-timey music right next to the Necronomicon. And no bells are going off. No red flags in this woman. She's just like ready to gun-ho and move forward.
Yeah, and I'm like, when you see the Necronomicon next to a record player playing old-timey music, it's time to go, girl.
Get out of there.
But no, what does she do? She makes herself at home, sits on the couch. She just has a seat on the couch there.
Drops her guard.
Well, time to have a seat and take a load off here. And as she sits down, the blind lady sits next to her, and they don't seem really threatened by her. Even though she's like yelling at them constantly, like, shut up! I have a gun pointed at you. They're just like, okay, whatever, it's fine.
Which is should be concerned.
I'd be like, why aren't you even fucking scared?
Right.
But the blind lady touches her, right? And she goes, oh, you're pregnant.
Another
Right
alarm
there.
should have gone off.
I
A
would be
blind
like,
lady
whoa,
touches
whoa,
me
whoa.
and tells me about I'm out.
I would ask for a free psychic reading right there. Like,
Not me.
What else?
I'd be gone.
Am I going to be rich?
The whole time you reckon music playing in the background, like, Jeepers Creepers, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm pregnant.
And then if that's not enough, we're past strike 2, 3, 4. Like we're
at
there's too
strike
many strikes
100.
now. Yeah. She goes, oh, and the partner, your partner that you're looking for is the dad.
Again, what are you doing,
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you
Sarah?
can hear that. That's me stomping on the floor like a kid because I just can't wrap my fucking head around. Why wouldn't you just be like, whoa, 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 what's going on?
A trained police officer in this situation should be trained to gather enough information to assess the situation and act accordingly. Sarah does not do this at all.
And then she goes, oh, you're pregnant. After she says she's pregnant too, the blind lady goes, oh, I always wanted to have kids.
Oh.
She says that to the butcher. And the butcher is like just a little bit of ways looking at this tunnel.
Right.
Because he's like, well, you want to keep going down. There's this tunnel here.
Right.
But again, there's another sign. She goes, oh, I always wanted to have kids. Now, I don't think she was saying it in the way like, oh, that's nice. I wish I had kids one day. No. She said it in a way like, oh, your kid's going to be mine, most likely. Bitch, have you seen a horror movie? Have you seen anything?
Have you seen
Have you seen
anything?
Unsolved Mysteries? Have you seen anything?
The warehouse is dilapidated. You're in the room that can only fit maybe 4 people. Jeepers Creepers is playing on a record in the background. The Necronomicon's in the room with you. And the tunnel is blocked with debris. And what is the answer that you give?
Move that shit out of the way. And not only does she say move that shit out of the way, because the butcher goes, oh, he tries to help her again. He goes, well, look, it's blocked by all
It's
this
blocked
stuff.
off. It's blocked
And there's like a
off.
bunch of old tables and chairs leaning against it. And she's like, well, get it out of the way. And he's like, okay. So he starts removing the shit. And then she's talking to the blind lady a little more, stupid small talk. And then as they're talking, she starts to look irritated, the cop, Sarah. And she's like, what's taking him so long? And then pulls out the gun. Hurry up and lead me to my demise. Take me further to this building that devours things as if they didn't exist now.
And the butcher is just like,
Okay.
like, are you know
sure?
you're in danger, right? You know this isn't gonna work out for you, right?
Get me into that tunnel.
Okay.
And again, very rude.
Very rude.
The protected
They're
searching.
giving her all the signs like this is not good for you.
She sees it every time she opens up her cop car door, and I don't think she cares about that part of their job.
Sarah, I don't know how many hints the universe can give you as to get the hell out of here. The tunnel is blocked off. It is time to take a hint and call it a night. If you have to clear a tunnel to descend further down, maybe you should be asking yourself the $1 million question, why are you still there? Literally, everything's pointing for you to stop. Now here, let's play a game. Do you A, leave the place and go find some real help because you're pregnant, hurt, and going further down deeper into a dilapidated warehouse? B, shoot these two because they're obviously up to no good? Or C, do you clear the tunnel and ascend deeper into the bowels of a broken down warehouse? BT dubs. Derrick, before you answer this question, the blind lady says, the butcher's an alien.
The blind lady says the butcher's an alien, right? Okay. I'm going to go with C because, again, I saw the movie. I'm going to go with C. We're going to go ahead and go down that tunnel. It's obvious. It seems to me that she's not interested in any details about the situation that she's currently
not.
in. They're like, you want some information about the situation? And she's like, no, just shut up.
She got a one-track mind. She just wants to go down.
So they start descending further down this barbarian movie type tunnel. And as they're going down, the butcher is lighting like these torches / candles that are, every couple feet
on the wall.
on the walls. And he goes, well, I have to light these because the last time I came down here, I almost couldn't find my way back. He even stops and looks at her like,
He's like, are you sure you want to go further?
I was down here before.
I was down here before. Obviously, I'm the killer. Are you sure you want to continue? I'm lighting candles on these walls.
And he goes, oh, and by the way, the blind lady's wrong. The butcher's not an alien. The butcher works for the alien.
Right.
He might as well have said, which is me.
Which is me.
He might as well have said, I'm the butcher, bitch.
Right.
Do you not get it? He goes, so she's wrong. The butcher works for the alien.
He has a shirt that says the butcher. Yeah. I work for aliens. Yeah. I kill people.
And then in addition to that, this is a really cool part here. He goes, and also the alien's been down here since before the dinosaurs.
Oh my God. So she's going
That's
further.
Crazy.
And she doesn't listen to this guy at all. And surprise, surprise, Sarah is now walking into what looks like an ancient temple. Your warehouse just turned into an ancient temple with stone carvings of dismembered humans being fed to alien gods. Sarah, mija, you're standing in a temple of sacrifice. Surely now you will stop, turn around, and try to leave. No? We're still going, Sarah? Are you sure, Sarah? Okay, whatever.
So as they're looking at these ominous hieroglyphic stone carvings, whatever the hell they are, obviously from ancient alien times. As they're looking at this, we get a POV from someone coming out of the tunnel towards them. And they're slowly putting out those torches that the butcher, we're just going to call him the butcher because
we know he is. We know
that she's putting, this person is putting them out. Then all of a sudden we just see Sarah get rushed by the blind lady and she just hurls fire at her. Just throws fire on her and then pushes this bitch down a fucking hole, which when you look down the hole, it's just a bunch of dry ice and colors. It's not good. Okay, and as she's going down the hole, she's saying, oh God, because she's rolling down this hole. The blind lady yells down at her, there is no God. There is no God. She's like, and then she lands into, she goes down the hole, lands into like, there's just a bunch of dead bodies and corpses. Most of them are dismembered.
Right.
And she yells up to them, why are you doing this to me? And I just had to put my head in my hand and the frustration and rub my eyes like I'm doing now and just say, now you're curious?
Now you want information.
Have questions? Now you have questions.
You didn't question them. You didn't question the blind lady when she told you were pregnant and the Paul was the father. You didn't question when the tunnel was blocked. You didn't question when he started lining the tunnel. You didn't question when you were into an ancient temple carved with stone carvings. You didn't question when you saw the hole you were pushed down. You had no questions, and now, why are you doing this to me? No, mija, you did this to yourself.
And as she stands up and starts to take off all her cop gear. You know, she's trying to, I guess, be more nimble and be able to move around more. Yeah.
So she was on fire when she went down the hill.
She's taking off all her gear, and as she's doing that, we see the blind lady and the butcher start to pull up this little shitty makeshift ladder.
Right, the ladder.
Which means that you ain't coming back up. That's it. Once you see that ladder go, well, she's not coming back up from there. That's that.
And she makes no other effort. And she starts walking around into this ruin, stepping over these dismembered body parts and these bloody skulls. And Sarah runs into Paul, who's sitting down and he's shaking and he's jolting like he's having a seizure. And you see his eyes are missing and the back of his skull is completely removed. Kind of like...
It's a hollowed out head.
Yeah, it's a hollowed out head. Kind of like Sarah's head, basically.
Yeah.
Because she has no reasoning or deductive
And this
skills.
dude, because he's in a cop uniform, he reminds me of the cop from the police academy that pop locks and shit. That's what he looks like. He's pop locking horror style. It's really cool. It is really fucking grimy.
It's a great effect, and it's all practical.
It's unsettling. Very
and
unsettling.
we realize that an alien has taken over the body, and he uses a little mouth that is on the Paul's stomach.
Well, because there's these creatures flying about.
Right.
There's these creatures flying around in this cave, let's call it, that she's in. And they look like, just picture, ladies and gentlemen, like a giant stingray.
Yeah.
That kind of opens up and shows you its bones and everything.
Yeah.
That's pretty
It's
much
a stingray
and they're flying around.
And they're flying around. These are the aliens, and they look very obviously alien, and they have little mouths on their stomach that they use to mimic, I guess human responses, because this stomach started speaking to her and saying, Sarah.
Well, because the stingray opens up its little wings and then it zooms in, you can see like a little mouth in the center where its belly would be. And it's Paul's voice.
Yeah, it's all Sarah.
And he goes, Sarah, watch the walls. Watch the walls, Sarah. I'm still alive. Because when she was shooting at these things that are flying at her, when she missed, whenever she would hit the walls would bleed green ooze.
Yes, they would.
Pretty cool.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
To the big conclusion of the movie, to nobody's surprise except for Sarah's, the blind lady is an alien god, and the man is obviously the butcher. Now she is strapped to a table, a sacrificial one, and they are about to reveal themselves to her, and basically the blind lady saying, it's time for you to see how things really are. And the stingray aliens that are around them have these elaborate and stylized type of bone saws that come out of their mouths.
And as they're attacking her,
the
butcher's saying, "Oh, you'll like it. It'll be fine." Like, which makes it even more scary,
right?
Because he's trying to it's fine. You're gonna like it. You'll be immortal and shit. Like, you'll be fine.
And it's like,
Don't
you're
worry.
not. You're not going to be. They're feeding you bullshit because they're cutting off her limbs and her arm. Well, they're cutting off her arm with the bone saw mouth thing that they have and sucking out her bone marrow. Mm-hmm. And you can see all of that. It's a pretty good effect.
Because what does it look like? The thing that comes out of these stingrays' mouth.
It looks like a saw. It looks like a stylized predator saw with a tube in the middle to suck out the bone.
With spikes
bone
down
marrow.
the side of it, and a little straw
spikes,
up the middle,
all that shit, like Jeepers Creepers type of fucking weaponry.
And
or
they
something.
show the marrow being sucked into the straw.
Yeah. And so they're feasting on her bone marrow, and then they're giving her shit about being pregnant and not wanting to have the baby.
Okay, and then now all of a sudden, I guess she passes out or something, and she wakes up, and she's in this hospital room, right? She's in this hospital room, and the butcher walks in.
Yeah, and you're like, what the fuck?
But he's not dressed like a broke-ass divorce substitute teacher anymore.
He's dressed like a doctor.
He's dressed like a doctor. And he sounds even more educated now because he's kind of meek. This whole episode, he's really meek and just kind of a little bitch. But now he's a doctor. He's just like, he's like, oh, you're going to be fine.
You've been in a coma for a couple days.
You had this accident and we gave you some medication. That's why you're tripping out like that. Right. And then all of a sudden, the blind lady walks in.
Right.
Looking like her mother almost.
Right.
And Sarah's even almost talking to her as if she is her mother.
Like she knows her.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's like,
oh, it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
And don't worry. We brought Paul with you.
Oh.
I knew you're going to want to be next to him. Matter of fact, look, he's right over here. And it looks like they're in a hospital room, mind you. And then the butcher pulls the sheet away, and there's Paul still in his cop uniform, looking like he did down there when he was, pop-locking horror style. But now he's all dried up. So he still has the hollowed-out head.
He has a hollowed-out head, no eyes,
and they peel him off the sheet, and you just get, because his body's all dry. He just looks over at her. Obviously, she's screaming bloody murder. Then one of my favorite parts of this episode, all of a sudden, bam, the background just changes. We're back into, below the building where we were when she was getting hacked up by the aliens first. And they hacked her up. She's missing three out of 4 limbs.
She has no legs, but bloody stumps and a bloody arm. She has one arm left, and all around her, all these alien stingray gods are like just feasting on the inside of her limbs, like just sucking it all out.
It is kind of comical because they're showing the aliens like it looks like they're eating drinking a Slurpee. They're just all
right.
It shows them like holding her arm or her leg and just sucking the bone marrow out. It's kind of comical.
Yeah, it is comical, but it's also very scary because you're like, what the fuck? Well, how did I get myself into this position? Because you didn't read the signs.
And what's sad too is they gave her a glimpse of hope by making her feel like she was in a hospital room for a second.
Yeah, just to fuck with her. And then to show her Paul. And then, of course, the icing on the cake is that the alien blind lady is actually the alien god, and she opens up her shirt to reveal that she now is the keeper of
because you weren't fit
Sarah's
to be
baby.
a mother. Yeah, she goes, you weren't
be...
fit to be a mother. And during that, when Sarah's she's struggling to try to get out of the bed, she pulls the blind lady's glasses off
and sees that
there's no eyes in there. It's just like empty eye sockets that are kind of loosely, kind of halfway open. It's really fucking creepy.
It's awesome.
I remember this part. I'm getting goosebumps right now talking about it, looking over at you and just going, dude, oh, this is fucked up. It is
dirty,
disturbing,
man. They do their dirty.
I think we're doing it pretty good. Like we're doing it some justice here, but you can't. You only explain so much. It's really disturbing.
You just have to watch it for yourself. You definitely, if you can get your hands on this movie, definitely watch it. And that's it. That's how that ends. There's no happy ending. I try not to feel bad for Sarah simply because she had the times and opportunities to walk away. Like she truly did. She was adamant about going further and deeper. And every time the butcher was like, "Are you sure?
I lost
my keys. Can't get down this door. Are you sure?
Yeah, this building tends to swallow things up as if they didn't exist.
The tunnel's blocked. Are you sure?"
He just pauses, turns, and looks at her like, "Eh?
Huh? No?
Okay. All right."
Stone carvings. Ancient alien gods. Eating dismembered body parts.
Shut up and take me further down.
Are you sure? Okay.
Okay. Hey.
All right.
I'm
just trying to show you.
You got the badge. Whatever you say.
But this ends, and then we get back to the wraparound.
Yep. Back to the wraparound.
Which the ending of this is actually kind of
cool.
It's kind of cool too, as well. Yeah. Basically, Lovecraft, it gets caught by the monks, and they're basically telling him, "You don't know what you've done. This forbidden information is not meant for you."
And the monk's on the other side of that jail cell door,
right.
that the bars, and then the monk is pretty cool. He like forces himself through the bars.
Right.
Another cool effect. There's like cool effect after cool effect with this movie. He like squeezes himself through the bars.
Right.
Like you don't know what you've unleashed.
You don't know, yeah.
And you're going to pay.
You're going to pay
and
with your life.
With your life. And where the safe was, we forgot to mention, but we'll just do it now. Every time he read a story, there was a wall
that opens up
Mystery
to the Science Theater style.
Mystery Science Theater style, like when like, it's movie time, and then each door opens. It's kind of like that. But then now they all open, and then a bunch of dry ice and bright lights, and you see something coming, like something flying, some alien-like creature flying towards that safe.
It kind of just looks like a white oven mitt with teeth. That's what I thought it was. I'm like, oh, this is just a white oven mitt with teeth.
And the monk grabs H.P. Lovecraft and holds him and like facing that.
Before that, he's telling him to put the book back and open the door. Oh. And H.P. Lovecraft says, "I can't. I lost the keys." And then there's a monster underneath H.P. Lovecraft.
That's right. Okay.
And he's like, the tentacles are wrapping around his legs, and the monk is screaming at him like, "What have you done?
But
what
then
have you done?"
He pulls out that cane.
He pulls out the cane with the sword, and he starts going to work on that monster just like a badass. Just
he
blood.
took care of it pretty quickly. I was like, oh, that was almost like a nothing thing. He just went, yeah, get away from me.
Get away from me.
Yeah, that was it for that monster.
Then they get into a scuffle. Then him and the monk get into a scuffle, and he puts that monk down on his knees. And
because the monk's trying to hold him facing the safe opening, saying like holding him as if like he's going to sacrifice him to whatever's going to fly out of that hole.
And then he puts him down on his knees, and he removes the mask from the monk and to expose his true alien head, which I thought was crazy because I'm like, oh my God, is he just ripping off his face?
Yeah, because he grabs his top lip and his bottom lip and just starts to peel it open. and I'm like, oh, no, it's a mask.
It's a mask. Yeah, it's a mask. And obviously it's an alien underneath it because their monks are aliens. And basically, he's trying to hold him, saying the alien is trying to hold H.P. Lovecraft in front of the door with the oven mitt with teeth coming. And he's like, "You'll pay for what you've done." And basically, H.P. Lovecraft gets out of it.
He shanks him because he
shanks him.
Again,
he stabs him. That cane
with
sword.
the cane sword, shanks him like in his side.
Yeah.
And then he's able to break free out of his grasp.
And
then
the
oven mitt alien monster bites his fucking head off, which is another cool effect.
Which bites, it sucks him like a clam. Yep, sucks him like a clam. And then the body mask and everything and just falls flat. The door opens. H.P. Lovecraft
grabs the Necronomicon.
and leaves. And then the monks are like, one of the other monks like, you don't know what you've done, Mr. Lovecraft.
No, but it's funny you say that, because he doesn't even say it like that. He just goes, you don't know what you've done. He says it like that. I remember.
Yeah. He's probably like, oh, this world's done for. I'm going to get off.
Dude.
I'm going to leave. This is fucked
Once
up.
he lifted the keys, we were done.
We
We're all
were
going to lose our
done,
jobs anyways.
Yeah, we're all going to lose our jobs.
Once he lifted the keys off you.
We're fucked.
He's like, hey, you don't know what you did.
And runs outside. The cab is still waiting
Still
for him.
waiting for the whole duration of the movie. Now, I know that cabs charge if
Quite
they have
a penny
to wait.
if they have to wait, yeah.
So H.P. Lovecraft has some money, I guess?
He's
He's a writer.
he's
There's
a
no way he
writer.
can have money.
Oh, I don't know, but he stayed. I know he paid the mortgage for that fucking cab driver.
And he goes, did you find what you were looking for? The cabbie says to him. And the cabbie, fun fact, was one of the directors, Brian.
Yeah, Brian Usna, yeah.
And he goes, no, more like it found me. And then he taps the Necronomicon, and the camera zooms in on the Necronomicon.
And then it ends. Oh my God! Such a great
fucking
film.
movie, dude. I love
Great
this. This was a really, really good horror
effects.
movie.
Great, everything was. I loved it.
I recommend it if you want to see really good special practical, because this, again, there is some stuff that doesn't really work,
Right, but
it doesn't matter because there's more stuff that works in it.
Yeah, like anytime you have Tom Savini and Screaming Mad George doing your effects, you're in for a treat. That's for sure.
So if you like special effects, or if you like sci-fi kind of horror stuff, or if you want to get into more H.P. Lovecraft, like I'm going to start doing now,
right?
This one's for you, big time.
Oh,
and if you like '90s horror, if you like old school '90s kind of cheesy shit,
this
is right up your alley.
This is it. And I loved everything about this movie, even though it had cheese, even though it had some bad acting, the practical effects and the work.
The stories too were
you
really
can
good.
tell the love and effort that went into this. And it's sad to me that it didn't get the theatrical release it should have gotten, because they all thought it was going to be released theatrically, and it wasn't. It went straight to video, and then it just sat on the shelves, and then no one thought about it for years. And now some people on YouTube mention it briefly, and I came across it and had to buy it from Germany.
Yeah, and then hopefully this podcast alone helps get the word out about it. Because if you're a horror fan, you need to check this one out. This is really good.
I'm sorry we spoiled it for you, because that's what we do here on this podcast. We obviously spoil it, but we don't do it that much justice with these practical effects. You need to watch these practical effects on their own.
Absolutely. Would you own any anything from would you buy?
Oh yeah, I bought
any merchandise.
I bought the Blu-ray, of course.
Necronomicon shirt, maybe. Yeah. If they have it. Got to buy it from Germany.
I bought a Blu-ray player because of this Blu-ray.
This movie, yeah. So you already did your part.
Because I have every single streaming platform that's available to man, so I'm like, oh, I don't need this. But then I was like, oh no, this is cool. So yeah, and it has some great special features. This is one for the ages. Jot it down, rewatch it.
There you go. Yeah. So you want to?
Sure. So basically, it came from the pod. And if you have any suggestions or would like to send us any movies that you want us to do, you can send it to itcamefromthepod@gmail.com. You can leave we'd love for you to leave a like and a comment on this video or this podcast as well. You can watch us on Spotify, and soon we'll be on YouTube. And that's about it. I think everyone should have a good night.
Yeah. Other than that, remember, you're not above anybody until you're 6 feet under. Good night, everybody.
Good night.